Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and this morning I put out the best Black Ops summary video on YouTube, period. I stayed up all night long watching all 50 minutes of gameplay footage that's been released with a notebook in front of me, writing down all my observations. And then I watched all the interviews that were out there, and then I read all the articles, and I took it and I summarized it into one video, and it's doing really well. But the thing is, there were a couple points I left out, a couple things that I wish I had included. So you can consider this the appendix to that video, things that I also wish that I threw in there. First point, perks no longer modify guns. So in the history of Call of Duty, usually there's a perk like Steady Aim, which tightens up your hipfire spread, and there's a perk called Deep Impact, which makes your bullets penetrate and do more damage through surfaces. Those are gone. Black Ops has made it, or Black Ops 2 is now such that, when they build a gun, that gun behaves the way they intended that gun to behave. I imagine they did it for balancing. I imagine they did that because, when you add all these perk combinations to a gun, there are so many choices and options that, some can become overpowered in ways that they didn't predict that they would be. So now with that gone, it's, there's just less for them to try to keep together and all be, the ideal, which is that every gun is the best possible gun for some particular situation. The one that I have a question about that I still don't know the answer is sleight of hand. Now, I've seen unofficial perk lists that include something called fast hands, which to me is something that like a high school boy would have. But maybe fast hands is a new name for sleight of hand. I'm not accustomed to them just arbitrarily renaming perks from the same development company, so I tend to view it with suspicion. It might be that sleight of hand is gone, which I miss. I miss sleight of hand because I'm rarely, unarmed as I sit there and do my reload. I also miss sleight of hand pro because it is part of my evolution as a player. I no longer reload after every single kill, but that means I'm more likely to switch to my secondary to switch a guy off and to finish a guy off, which, yeah, no homo. But if sleight of hand and sleight of hand pro are gone, then I'll miss that. Another thing that I wish I had done in the previous video is I talked about live streaming. I said, hey, now you can live stream from your Xbox. You don't need, say, a capture card. You don't need, a partnered YouTube account. You don't need any of those things. You can be a live streamer with your Xbox. And what I wish I said was, you can be a live streamer with your Xbox, your PS3, I'll presume your PC, and your Wii U. But, I'm sure it'll be the first two, and I predict it'll be all four. Anyway, that was like a slip of the tongue. It was like 4:35 a.m. when I was making my commentary, so forgive me. You will be, if you're, a lot of PS3 guys ask, like, hey, can I live stream too? And yes, you can. The other thing I wanted to do is sort of address some of the cynicism that came around the Ghost perk. In it, I mentioned that with Ghost, it only works if you're moving, which is a big deal, right? It's no longer a camper's perk. And everybody said, that stinks. All I'll do is I'll move one foot and I'll keep camping. Or, I'll do this or I'll do that. And it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, it was impossible to implement this concept without it being implemented poorly. There's a lot of smart people at Treyarch, and they make some pretty good video games. So I'm going to throw out my idea on how I hope it's implemented, and then we'll see. If I were king, if they had consulted me in how this works, use this concept of invisible smoke trailing your character, right? As you walk, there's like a 10-foot plume of invisible smoke coming from behind you that sort of marks the recently been in area. If you want to just, say, walk around that same room and say, all right, I'm moving, that won't work because the room fills up with this invisible smoke, right? Forget the concept of smoke. It's just a marker to where you've been recently. If they do that, then as you run around the map, you will leave this trail of invisible smoke of this, I was just here, that dissipates over time, which is why I call it smoke. If you were to do something like that, then the whole idea of Ghost only works when you're moving would be fine. Ghost only works when you're not in your own batch of invisible smoke. If you just sort of, do circles around the same room, if you just sort of patrol the exact same area all the time, then Ghost isn't going to work because you will have recently been in that area and it will still be smoky. If they do it like that, then I think it'll work out great. It's completely possible for this Ghost only works when you're moving thing to be implemented well. And I hope that they do it. And the last thing to keep in mind as you watch that other video is I outlined this scenario where an objective player captures 2 capture the flag things and gets 2 kills each time along the way. That's worth like 13 kills because the returning the flag is worth 1.5 kills. Grabbing the flag is worth a kill, and then each time you kill someone as the flag carrier, that's worth 2 kills. So that's 4 per round, and it added up to 13. And people were like somehow thought I was talking about domination along the way, and were like, "Really? 2 flag caps with some kills gets you dogs?" No. It was a CTF scenario where you single-handedly grab 2 flags and get 2 kills as you return it. That's what is so beneficial. Don't go thinking that you're going to grab your spawn and B and start off with dogs. That's crazy. So anyway, check out these videos. On the left will be the one that I was really sort of addressing in this video. Don't miss it. It is the best summary of Black Ops 2 that you'll find on the internet. It'll do you more good than watching all 50 minutes of footage, but if you want to do that, by all means, do that too. On the right is Mail Monday, which is always a real popular video. They open in new windows and you can do your thing. Top blue box is to subscribe if you want to check out more content from me, and have a good day.